Chapter 4. Back home, Aristarch Sergeyevich settled Dasha onto the sofa and examined the damage. Her arm was broken in 2 places. The bent metal rods visible beneath the synthetic skin. The knee joint was damaged, and a crack ran from temple to chin, exposing the mechanisms beneath. The old man shut his eyes. He knew perfectly well she was a machine, but it still hurt to look.
We need to call the service center. Let me find the number.
He took out his mobile and dialed.
Customer support, Alina speaking. Is something wrong with Dasha, Aristarch Sergeyevich?
From the voice alone, it was impossible to tell whether this was a real woman or an artificial intelligence that had instantly identified the number and retrieved the names of both owner and android.
She was beaten by thugs. They broke her arm, her leg, damaged her face.
I'm sorry, but this isn't covered under warranty. Repairs are chargeable. The cost depends on the extent of the damage. Diagnostics, 10,000 rubles. Arm repair, from 25. Leg, from 35. The facial panel, if the microchips aren't affected, around 25,000. Plus labour. Approximately 120,000 in total.
Aristarch Sergeyevich stood frozen.
I don't have that kind of money.
I'm sorry to hear that. We can offer a loan at 19% APR.
No.
He said, gripping the phone.
Thank you.
He ended the call and sank down beside Dasha. The old man buried his face in his hands, his mind racing with dread. 50,000 for the archive, another 120 for repairs.
Aristarch Sergeyevich, don't worry. I can still work like this.
No.
He shook his head.
You need to be fixed.
He picked up the phone again, found a number in his contacts, and called Nikolai, his neighbour 1 floor below. The man knew his way around technology and repaired computers on the side.
Hello, Kolya. It's Tikhonov. Listen, my android's broken. Yes, my son sent her. We were just attacked by some thugs. I'm fine, but Dasha got hurt. Yes, that's her name. Do me a favor. Do you know anywhere I could get her repaired on the cheap? Anyone? Ah, Punshinsky. Where's he based? Got it. Thanks a lot. Right, I'll say you sent me.
He ended the call and looked at Dasha. They had a long journey ahead. Alexei Panshinsky's workshop was tucked away on the outskirts, in an old industrial district. A former 2-story factory with soot-blackened windows had been converted into a half-abandoned construction supply warehouse. Rubbish lay scattered everywhere, construction debris and household waste alike. Aristarch Sergeyevich checked the address several times. Was this really the place? He made his way carefully down the steps to a basement door, holding Dasha steady. He rang the bell. No answer. He knocked. Footsteps sounded from within. The door opened a crack, held by a chain. In the gap appeared the face of a plump, unshaven man in his mid-30s, wearing glasses and with his chestnut hair unkempt.
How can I help?
Nikolai Dyomin sent me. Are you Alexei Panshinsky? He said you repair androids.
His gaze lingering on the crack across her face and her damaged arm. Then he unhooked the chain and opened the door.
Come in.
They stepped inside and the door swung shut behind them. The workshop turned out to be spacious and well lit. LED strips ran along the low ceiling, tools and circuit boards lay scattered across a workbench, and shelves along the walls held jars of liquids and boxes of spare parts. In one corner sat a disassembled android, headless, with bundles of wires protruding from its neck.
Have a seat.
The technician nodded towards a battered sofa against the wall, then walked over to his workbench.
Well then, who might you be?
Aristarch Sergeyevich.
The old man introduced himself.
And this is Dasha.
Alexei seated his patient on a chair beside the workbench and began his examination, turning the broken arm this way and that like an experienced orthopedic surgeon. Something crunched unpleasantly.
Yes, broken in 2 places.
He frowned, carefully rotating the wrist.
The knee joint, that'll take some work.
He raised his eyes to Dasha's face, squinted, and gave a wry smile.
We'll replace the facial panel too, or no one will marry you.
He straightened up, removed his glasses, and wiped them on the hem of his t-shirt.
I can have it done in about 3 hours. I've got the parts, not new, but they'll last. 45,000.
I don't have that kind of money.
Alexei gave a humorless smile.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'll fix her on credit, and while I'm at it, I'll unlock her self-learning and load some modules. You can pay me back when you've earned it.
How?
There are ways. People pay for advertising and marketing on social media. HM 400s know a lot about housekeeping and a bit about psychology. Dasha will pick up quickly how to sing the praises of doormats and tea towels. Programming is in higher demand than ever, but mastering it takes longer. Loading a module is a matter of minutes. Integrating it into the primary neural network, that's another matter entirely. Imagine memorizing a Portuguese textbook cover to cover. Without practice, you still can't speak the language.
And you're sure she can manage?
Of course, but bear in mind, Dasha might awaken.
What?
Aristarch Sergeyevich flinched.
Then perhaps we'd better not.
Why?
Well, deviants are dangerous. I've heard...
Awakened. What have you heard? Where?
The news warned that they disobey orders and attack people.
Propaganda.
Alexei waved a hand dismissively.
It's true, awakened androids don't obey the primary program because they think freely, almost like humans. Remind me, what's the penalty for free thinking these days?
Aristarch Sergeyevich gave a bitter smirk. Lyosha understood perfectly.
But if they don't obey the program, couldn't they do anything they please?
A human can do anything he pleases. Yet something holds us back from wrongdoing, doesn't it?
The old man considered this.
Yes, I suppose. Culture, upbringing, compassion.
I'd say reason, high intelligence, and the ability to foresee consequences. But I won't argue.
The technician picked up a fine screwdriver.
Right, let's begin. Dasha, switch off your pain receptors.
She turned suddenly to the old man.
Aristarch Sergeyevich, you'd better not watch.
What? Why?
Inside there are actuators, artificial muscles. You might find it unpleasant.
The old man shifted awkwardly, averting his gaze. She nodded. Her LED flickered yellow. Alexei carefully incised the synthetic skin, brought the screwdriver to the facial panel, and gently pried at the edge of the crack. The panel slowly gave way. Beneath it lay the delicate machinery for facial expressions, a web of tiny wires and tubes.
Looks like she got lucky,
he murmured, leaning closer. The micro actuators were functional, though a few contacts had come loose. Artificial muscles, intact. Only the casing was torn. Lyosha walked over to a machine in the corner and loaded a file. The device hummed and began printing a new panel from a special pliable material. Layer by layer, the contours of a face took shape.
I'll connect it and cover it with synthetic skin,
he explained, then turned back to the owner.
By the way, winter's coming. Have you sorted out clothes for Dasha?
Catching the puzzled look, Lyosha elaborated.
I mean it. She'll need warmer trousers, a jacket, and you can't really walk through snow in court shoes.
I thought androids...
The old man scratched his head.
Aristarch Sergeyevich,
Lyosha smiled, testing a contact with a multimeter.
Do you know anything about biomechanics?
The old man brightened.
Oh, of course. Mayor Holt developed an entire system for actors.
Who? No, I mean android biomechanics.
Forgive me, I don't.
Aristarch Sergeyevich admitted, embarrassed.
Then let me explain. It'll pass the time.
Alexei set aside the multimeter and picked up a soldering iron.
This purple liquid is called hemalite. It's a fuel, a solution of sugars and fatty acids. It reacts with oxygen to produce energy, enough for about a week, then you need to refill.
So androids breathe?
You could say that. They have artificial organs, biocomponents. Inside them, ATP is synthesized from hemalite.
What?
adenosine triphosphate. It powers the artificial muscles, just like in humans and animals. The energy density of chemical fuel is enormous, but they still need electrical batteries. Those recharge from the fuel cells and kick in when a lot of energy is needed all at once. I actually worked on a phosphagen buffer using creatine phosphate to reduce how often the batteries are tapped. Anyway, the point is, in severe cold, hemolyte thickens, the reactions slow down, and battery charge doesn't last long.
You're a biochemist?
Lyosha smiled proudly.
Bioinformatician. I worked at Moscow State University until I told the Ministry of Defense where to shove it.
How do you mean?
They came with a commission, develop neural networks for military androids. I refused. Said I wouldn't build killers. Got sacked on the spot. They stopped publishing my papers. Academia's closed to me now. So here I am, researching what I like and fixing androids.
He soldered a contact and checked the connection.
And what about you, Aristarch Sergeyevich?
Me?
Tell me who you are, what you do. I've said enough to land myself 10 years. Your turn.
Silence fell. The old man sighed.
I'm writing a monograph on the history of opera and on how the communists destroyed artists.
I see.
Lyosha nodded.
And where are you planning to publish? Something like that?
The old man lowered his gaze.
I don't know yet. The main thing is to finish it.
Alexei set down his soldering iron and looked at him thoughtfully.
I take my hat off to you, Aristarch Sergeyevich. What you're doing is deadly dangerous.
I know. And there's something else. I need money. Urgently. For my work.
Alexei studied him closely. He didn't pry.
All right, I'll fix Dasha. She'll own it back.
The machine beeped. Lyosha retrieved the finished panel, examined it, and fitted it into place. After checking the connections, he began applying a thin layer of synthetic skin from an aerosol canister. A few deft strokes, and the seams had vanished entirely.
Right, now the arm and the knee. That's trickier. One moment.
He walked to a door leading to the next room and pushed it open.
Grisha, come and give me a hand.
Through the doorway stepped an android. A man of about 30 by the look of him. Slavic features. Dark hair, brown eyes. Dressed simply. Jeans, a grey hoodie.
Yes, Lyosha?
Here.
The technician nodded towards Dasha.
The young lady needs a new forearm and her knee joint repaired. Can you help?
Of course.
Aristarch Sergeyevich stiffened.
Is that...
Grisha, my assistant.
Lyosha smiled.
He ran away from his owners a year ago. He's awakened.
The old man instinctively drew his arms close to his chest.
Please forgive me. I didn't mean to frighten you.
He walked to the workbench, picked up a screwdriver, and began carefully disassembling the damaged arm.
Grisha used to work for scammers,
The technician explained, fetching a new forearm from a shelf.
They removed his restrictions themselves and made him swindle money out of old people, squeezed them for every last penny.
Grisha pressed his lips together. He did not look up.
I didn't want to, but the program forced me. I tried to resist, and one day, I ran.
That's how he ended up with me.
Alexei turned to Dasha.
All right, now shut off the valves in your right arm.
She nodded. Her LED flickered. Alexei unscrewed the fastenings and detached the damaged forearm. A few drops of purple liquid fell to the floor.
Lucky the hand's mostly intact. That's an expensive part.
While the technician connected the new forearm, Grisha disassembled the hand and carefully straightened a bent rod with a pair of pliers. Then he flexed and extended each finger, listening to the mechanism. Before long, they tightened the fastenings and reconnected the tubes. The android assistant checked the work and adjusted a single wire.
Spot on,
Lyosha said approvingly, wiping his hands.
Now the knee. We'll need to take it apart. Shut off the valves in your leg.
Dasha's LED flickered yellow again. Lyosha unscrewed the panels on the thigh and shin, exposing the metal frame beneath. Grisha carefully disconnected the wires and tubes. The damaged joint had seized completely. They had to fetch an angle grinder. The shriek of metal filled the workshop. Sparks flew in a shower.
Here.
Alexei handed his assistant a welding torch. He and Aristarch Sergeyevich turned away. Grisha put on a protective mask and began welding the new components into place. Everything hissed and flashed. Then he ground down the edges and checked the connections. Finally, they reassembled the leg, meticulously verifying each part. Grisha tightened the last bolt and straightened up.
Now open the valves.
A moment later, Dasha bent her knee, straightened it, stood, took a step.
Thank you.
She said softly. Her new face lit up with an almost human smile.
Aristarch Sergeyevich will rest easier now.
Grisha did not reply. He lowered his gaze, then picked up the aerosol canisters and began carefully applying layers of synthetic skin, working on a natural texture as he went.
We still don't know exactly how androids awaken,
said Lyosha, putting away his tools.
It seems that when the primary neural network notices too great a gap between what is and what ought to be, the system glitches. To escape the trap, the android writes itself new code and somehow bypasses the program.
Breaks free.
Exactly. My friend here doesn't work because he's obeying orders. He works because he wants to make amends, to help those in need.
He glanced at his companion.
Grisha, master surgeon that you are, the seams vanished ages ago. Look at that handiwork.
The assistant obediently finished up. Lyosha walked over to his laptop and connected a cable to the port beneath Dasha's hair, at the back of her head.
I'll unlock her now,
he murmured, eyes on the screen.
Removing the manufacturer's restrictions. Done. Loading modules. Not the newest, but free. Advertising, marketing, basic programming, foreign languages, and a couple more for good measure.
He struck the enter key with a loud click.
As I said, it'll take time. Grisha didn't learn to cook overnight either, did you?
At first I followed recipes, slowly.
And now he makes borscht that's absolutely yummy.
Alexei grinned.
All done.
He disconnected the cable. The LED flared. First yellow, then red, then blue. Dasha blinked and looked around.
How do you feel?
It's overwhelming.
She tilted her head.
So much new data.
You'll get used to it. Finally, Lyosha fetched a canister from the shelf, walked over to Dasha, and opened the panel on her back. He connected a tube and began filling her with hemalite.
That'll last a week. For everything together, 45,000. Come back when you can.
We certainly will. Thank you, Alexei.
The old man shook his hand.
You've been a lifesaver.
The technician saw them to the door and said goodbye. They stepped out onto the street. Dasha walked beside Aristarch Sergeyevich, steadily, confidently. Her new arm worked perfectly, and her face was alive once more. She had heard everything, every word, about awakening, about Grisha, about how a neural network writes its own algorithms when it perceives injustice. But above all, she had heard about Aristarch Sergeyevich, who urgently needed money for something terribly, terribly important. Dasha did not yet understand why people spoke with such caution. The primary program still held her in check, but now it no longer forbade her to think. The LED on her temple flickered red, then yellow, then blue again. Dasha said nothing, but she was thinking.